Hello and welcome to the channel.
My dear good students, my dear good viewers, every university prescribes topics from history of English literature in syllabus of degree English honors students, classes. And in this video, in line with this fact, I am going to talk about how to score good marks, how to write scoring answers on the topics from history of English literature. And I must say in this light that while preparing answers on any topic from history of English literature, you have to divide your answer into 6 categories, into 6 portions or sections. The first is introduction of the topic given in one paragraph. I mean, you have to introduce the topic. And in this respect, I would like to cite an example from University Weeds. Suppose you are writing an answer on the topic University Weeds. So how you have to initiate, you have to begin your answer. So I must say that your first portion of your answer must be devoted to the introduction of the topic. Like, University Weeds is a creative group of pioneer English dramatists between 1585 and 1600 during Elizabethan age, the golden age of drama. In other way, you can say the University Weeds is a phrase used to name a group of late 16th century English playwrights who were educated at universities. Hence, my dear good learners, good viewers, in your first paragraph, when you are going to answer, when you are going to prepare a scoring answer on any topic from history of English literature, your first paragraph must introduce the topic, must be a title analyzer. Your second part, your second paragraph must be on the introduction to the age the topic belongs to. The introduction to the age the topic is associated with. For example, if you talk about University Weeds, it means you are talking about Elizabethan age, 16th century. So your second paragraph must be an introduction of the age with which the topic is associated. And your third paragraph or third section, is very important. It is the body of your answer. And here you have to present, you have to write the features the characteristics of the given topics with elaboration and references. Here you have to write the characteristics of the topics. Write about the features, traits of the topic. Here I would like to cite an example of romantic poetry. Suppose you are going to write on romantic poetry, what you have to do in this section. I mean in the third section. Features of the topic. So if you write on romantic poetry, it means the features number one, return to nature and to plain humanity. Romantic poetry focuses on the return to nature and to plain humanity. Second feature, I would like to cite here features just. Democratic notes, it means romantic poetry talks about toilers, common people like the solitary reaper. Third, romantic poetry is packed with the dream of golden era, golden age, like emotion, imagination, bravery, heroic deeds, legends, myths, etc. And next, romantic poetry is interested in old sagas like legends and myths. And next, in romantic poetry, you find influence of French Revolution on poetry, like tenets like liberty, fraternity, and equality. Romantic poetry is also based on the flight of imagination. Through the flight of imagination, the poet conveys many ideas. And also another trait of romantic poetry is that the poetry is expression of spontaneous feelings and moving feelings. And also in romantic poetry you find subjective mood, autobiographical mood. So subjective themes on autobiographical notes you find. So like this you can cite, you can write paragraph wise different characteristics of that particular topic which you are going to deal with. Next comes the fourth part of your answer, and here you have to deal with thematic aspects. In the works of the authors, the poets, maybe the dramatists, maybe the novelists of that particular topic. Suppose the topic belongs to poetry, you have to discuss here the poets of that particular topic, associated with that particular topic. And you have to give what are the messages in the poems of the poet of that particular topic, if it is associated with poetry, like Victorian poetry, like romantic poetry. Okay, if it is associated with drama, you have to write about the dramatists of that particular age, that particular topic. And you have to describe, you have to analyze, you have to examine the motives behind the writings of those authors or those poets or those dramatists or those novelists. The next important portion of your answer must be that you have to narrate life and work of the noted authors or dramatists or poets related to the topic, to the age, to the era. If you are writing on English romantic poetry, you have to write about romantic poets like Wordsworth, Shelley, Coleridge, Keats, Byron, etc. So their life and their works, their contribution to the literature through their poems if you are writing on romantic poetry or Victorian poetry. Through you have to describe the life and works of the dramatists of the age when you are writing on university weeds. So my dear good students, here you have to describe what were the significant themes of the poets or the dramatists or the novelists. Themes, thematic aspect you have to deal with here. And the last portion is your conclusion. You must know conclusion is the result of your exploration throughout the answer. So in conclusion, you have to supply, you have to deliver your own critical comments, your own observations, your own ideas about the messages being conveyed through the topic. So you have to devise the method of writing your answer, scoring answer, marks fetching answer for your examination. You have to devise the method of writing on the basis of the format which must have at least 6 portions, 6 sections. And according to your convenience, you have to divide any sections into several paragraphs. For example, if you are dealing with the characteristics of romantic poetry, you have to write characteristics of that particular topic, that particular age into various paragraphs. And also, I would like to suggest you, my dear good learners, my dear good viewers, you always ask me, sir, you please give me the tips how to write marks fetching answer, how to write marks giving answer, high scoring answer, answer that catches the eyes of the readers, catches the eyes of the examiners. During writing your answer, you have to remember some significant points. What should be the points included in your answer? It should be imbibed by you. Remember, your answer must include the remarks of the critics in support of your ideas, textual references in support of your ideas, of your suggestion, of your thematic analysis and estimation. And also you have to use fascinating words. Remember, fascinating words always make your answer marks fetching. Again, I would like to cite an example from romantic poetry. How you can increase the beauty of your answer. How you can magnify the glamour of your answer. My dear good students, for example, about romantic poetry, Walter Pater defines it as the addition of strangeness to beauty. Another critic, Watts Dunton, defines romantic poetry as the renaissance of wonder. Renaissance of wonder. This is the observation of this critic, Watts Dunton. Another scholarly remarks of a critic, Herford, he calls romantic poetry extraordinary development of imaginative sensibility. And a very well-known, eminent historian, or you can say critic, Lewis and Kazimian, they emphasize both on the emotional and imaginative aspects of romanticism and call it an accentuated predominance of emotional life provoked and directed by the exercise of imaginative vision. And my dear good viewers, when you write answer, when you prepare notes for your final examination in English honors papers, my dear good learners, you must know that your handwriting matters much. Your correct writing also matters much. For example, grammatical mistakes must not be there. You have to be cautious that error-free answer. Beautiful words you have to use. And also in your comments, you have to add the thematic beauties, the language beauties, like the use of images or symbols or alliteration, like this you have to explore and you have to write. So remember, devising a perfect method to include significant points or aspects in your answer is very, very captivating. And when you prepare your answer on any topic, you keep all these things, all the tips I have suggested in this video in your mind and follow line by line, follow step by step all these aspects. And when you prepare for your examination, I have one recommendation also, that you have to look at your previous year papers that can enable you to understand the patterns of asking questions. Again, I repeat, my dear good students, you divide your scoring answer into 6 main portions. Number 1, introduction to the topic. Number 2, introduction to the age the topic belongs to. Number 3, features or characteristics of the given topic with elaboration and references. Number 4, thematic exploration, thematic estimation, thematic aspects being dealt in the works of the age as per topic given, mean major themes or major motives behind. Number 5, you have to discuss, you have to narrate, you have to elaborate thematic life and works of the noted authors associated with the topic. If the topic belongs to dramas, you have to write the life and works of dramatists. If the topic is associated with novels like Four Wheels of the Novel, you have to write the life and work of the novelists of that particular age, particular topic. And here, significantly, you have to write about, you have to insert the ideas about the major, significant, noted contributions of the authors. Contributions matter much. And the last one is conclusion, which I have already said. This is the result of your exploration throughout the journey of writing your answer. So here your comments, your observations, your appreciation, critical appreciation must be given in some beautiful lines. And finally, again, I would like to repeat that your answer must be error-free, handwriting must be clear. If it is possible, you leave one line after each line, and your perfection matters much when you make practices. Thank you very much. I hope this will be useful video for all of you. And at last,